In an experienced and well-equipped Alpha Infiltration Special Forces team, the members boarded a helicopter and secretly arrived at a covert experimental base of the War God Company. According to reliable information, this base had made a significant experimental discovery of considerable value. The mission of the Special Forces this time was to investigate intelligence and steal the core data from the experimental base. However, what they didn't know was that the truth behind the matter was far worse and more complex. When the Alpha team infiltrated the interior of the base, they found that all the personnel had disappeared, with only the bloodstains on the ground indicating that an emergency had occurred recently. Despite the suspicion, they still had to complete the mission. The entire team reached the base's control center without firing a single shot. To avoid problems, the captain directly ordered an acceleration of the operation. Under the cover of his teammates, the programmer restarted the base's power and began downloading the core experimental data. However, just as the lights illuminated the hall once more, the radar showed a large group of dense red dots approaching them from the mine pit below. One team member looked down and discovered a group of never-before-seen monsters rapidly approaching. The captain ordered the programmer to continue downloading the data while the others entered combat mode. They had to complete the mission before they could withdraw. Thus, the Alpha team's drones instantly activated, and the machine gunner unleashed firepower, pouring bullets towards the approaching monsters. Under the cover of his teammates, the data download was finally completed. The captain immediately ordered a retreat. However, there were too many monsters. One team member was inadvertently killed by a monster's tentacle. They had no time to grieve because more and more insects were rushing over. One teammate chose to sacrifice himself to buy time for the others. Hearing the screams from the machine gunner, the captain dared not waste time. He helped the programmer enter the escape pod, urging him to be sure to take the core data out. However, the next second, a steel bar pierced through the captain's skull. The programmer shouted the captain's name while trying to break free from the escape pod, but the evacuation program had already started. At this moment, the attacker who killed the captain revealed its true face. It turned out to be a robot from the War God Company. To ensure that the company's core data would not be leaked, the robot directly crushed the data cartridge. Facing the programmer's vow to take it down, the robot silently raised its rifle.